Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers!
Greetings, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. Welcome to Spoiler Sleepover, part of the Nerdcamp Network. Join your hosts, Jason, Michael, and Rob, as they bring you on a slash-tastic adventure through cinema. Now, enjoy the show. It will be a real scream of a time.
Welcome back, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, to week 3 of Movie Music Month with Middleman Mike. I am Rob.
And you guessed it, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm really excited to keep working on this one and hear your thoughts on the movie that we have for this week. So, as we stated last week, today we will be talking about 1983's Videodrome, one of my all-time favorites. David Cronenberg, just masterpiece and masterclass at what you definitely should and shouldn't be doing with practical effects. But we're going to be talking about the music. I feel like a little bit, and a lot more of this was Mike's first viewing. But
yeah,
before we get into that,
it sure was.
Let's jump into a little what's been keeping you up at night. Mike, what's been keeping you up at night?
Yeah, so what's been keeping me up at night is just been in a fix of Red Dead Redemption 2 lately. Trying to, keep Arthur as alive as I can before everything happens. Once he gets into the Saint Denis area, and just it's depressing.
Yep.
So I'm not looking forward to that. This is my 7th playthrough. So
Jesus,
yeah, we're gonna try and 100% complete the game this time.
Nice.
So.
I've never completed it. I have started it, I think 2, maybe 3 times. I loved the first game. I got 100% in every achievement in the first game. That was over a year of me playing that religiously to get to that point. But yeah, the second one, I've watched a fuck ton of gameplay on it just because I have attempted so many times. There's so much more to do that it's just too much for my brain. And I'm like, I just can't. I got to the camp and I was like, here's 1,000 missions. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go find the clan and just set them on fire. So that's what I did. Tied one of them up to a horse and just took off.
Yeah. Yep. That you can do so many things in that game. It should be illegal, but it's not. It's fun.
That's awesome. I, per usual, I've been playing Minecraft. I actually, right before we got on, found one of the weirdest caves systems I think I've ever seen. And I'm just confused. So I went down looking for diamonds, and now I'm just exploring because it's so strange. And it feels like it's a glitch, but I'm really enjoying it. But aside from the usual of Rob playing Minecraft, I finished Superman and Lois. I had started that show when it first started airing, and I watched the first season while it was airing. The second season, I waited till the entirety was out, and then I watched all of that. And then the third season was the final season because the show got fucking canceled, which I don't understand why. The show was so damn good, and there was so much potential to keep going, build on all of these characters, but they just canceled it. So I finished that the final season, and ended up bawling my eyes out at the end of it because it was depressing, but really, really good. And
Really?
easily for TV wise, after the first season 2 and season 3 are the most accurate to the comic books I've ever seen a DC show get.
Interesting.
The first season really tried to like rope in the Arrowverse, which in reality it's the Flashverse. Come on, like nobody really gave a shit about Arrow after season 2, but and everyone loved the Flash. But yeah, they tried to rope it in, and it worked a little bit, but it also was just like beating a dead horse at that point because Arrow had already been canceled. So anyway, yeah, I finished that. It's fucking fantastic. It's on HBO Max, so if you have any interest in watching it, that's where you can watch it. It's good. I think if the kiddo's around, maybe don't watch season 3 around your kiddo. Season 1 and 2 should be fine.
Okay.
But yeah. So other than that, I also started watching a show on Screambox called The Trouble with Tessa. A few of my pseudo friends that are online horror influencers have been talking a lot about it, and one of them reached out to me and was like, dude, watch this. This is your jam. And so I ended up watching the first 5 episodes, and it's really interesting. I'm not entirely sure the trajectory of where they're going, but I'm on board. And the episodes are like 15 minutes long. It's really interesting. A woman moves to a town. She's a like reporter of some sort, and she moves to this town to like get away because she exposed a congressman. And within the first 3 episodes, you find out that like, hey, once you're in this town, you're here. Like there's no escape. But yeah, so that's on Screambox. I highly recommend it. I'm looking forward to finishing the show. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't knock it all out in one sitting, just because the episodes are so short. Right. But yeah, so that's what's been keeping us up at night. Let us know what's been keeping you up at night. Hit us up on any of our socials and let us know what you've been watching. Let us know if you're as dedicated to a video game as Mike is to Red Dead Redemption 2 or I am to Minecraft. We want to know everything. Let us know. Tell us what's going on. All right. And now let's talk about those squiggy little things going in and out of our ear holes, our earworms. Mike, what have you been listening to this week? The last 2 weeks, it's been a lot of talking about prepping for the show that has already come and gone. You got anything new you've been listening to?
So actually, they're not new. They've been around for a while, but I'm actually repping their shirt tonight. A band called Seaskill. They're a new metal type band out of New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire, and complete 180 from the rock and roll stuff that we do to just new metal, just scream, get it all out, heavy bass, heavy guitar, all in your eardrums. When me and my buddy Finn went and saw Slipknot, and they were up in Guildford, and they were on the hazy stage off to the right-hand side. And just this guy, when you first see him get up on stage, I mean, he looks like you and me, like gray hair, clean shaven. He's like this big. And he just got up on stage, and for a new metal band, like he was in shorts, like khaki shorts and like a button up shirt. I can't remember. It's been, almost a year since I saw him last.
Yeah.
But they're on Spotify, they're on YouTube, and the guy is awesome. I mean, that whole band, just the minute I heard, because I thought it was originally Slipknot just warming up, but it wasn't. It was these guys over on the hazy stage, and just the minute their bass player hit the first note, I was like, wait a minute. Like my head was down. I was looking at my phone, and then they hit, and I just went, "What was that?" And they were phenomenal. So I've been listening to them on Spotify. So again, Seaskill, Seizekill. They're really good. So that's what I've been listening to. Just I needed a change out of the whole rock and roll genre that we've been playing a lot lately. And normally I'll do that just if we've been go, 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 go. I need that genre split. I need something to just punch me in the punch me in the nuts.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I just looked them up. Yeah, that guy he looks like an angrier version of Daryl Palumbo, the lead singer of Glassjaw. Oh yeah, he's stomping the camera in this picture. That's dope. Yeah, I just followed them. They are labeled as New England rap metal, which that's right up my alley. That's awesome. All right, cool. I love new music. Thank you. Fuck yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Of course.
Well, I've been in the same vein of music. Just this week alone, at the time of this recording, this week alone, there were a ton of singles that were released by a bunch of bands that I really like. And I just ran the gambit, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to listen to all of this. And in doing that, my Spotify just went, hey, so seeing as you listen to all this, here's some bands you have never heard of. Maybe you should listen to them. So I clicked on a few, and I was like, all right, yeah, this is okay. But then I clicked on one, and I was like, hold on. Okay, how have I never heard of this band? So the band is called May They Rest. And the only reason I was confused about why I'd never heard of them is because they sound like early 2000s screamo. Like there's the high pitched singing along the lines of like Chiodos and like Alexis on Fire, and then there's the screaming and the breakdowns and the really like screech guitar parts and all of that, and the very clearly double floor bass, but it's clear that it's a single bass, not a double bass pedal, because of the way it's going through. And I listened to, I mean, they're brand new. They released a couple of singles in 2023, an EP in 24, and then a full length this year. And I can't stop listening to them. It is unbelievable. They're a blast from the past, but they're young, like they're in their 20s, like most of the bands in the early 2000s were, that are now doing their 20 and 30 year anniversary tours, which makes me feel horrendously old. Wow. Yeah. So and in August I'm going to see Taking Back Sunday and Coheed and Cambria.
Nice.
And I'm just
cool.
I'm fucking amped. Also, it just makes me feel so old. I'm so glad I'm working out my legs so I can stand for that long. But yeah,
right.
I am definitely going to check out Seaskill. And hey, that's perfect too, because they are New Hampshire based. That is a good way for everyone to support local as well. Go give them a follow and a listen. I have not listened to them yet. I'll report next week what I feel and how I dug it. But hey, support local. And while you're at that, following Seaskill, and if you haven't done it yet, go fucking follow Middleman. They are everywhere, and they play a lot of shows. So go to the shows, take the drive, have fun, hit us up. If there's a show in New Hampshire that you're going to, if there's a show in Maine you're going to, hit us up on our socials, and one of us or both of us will make a point to be there so we can all hang out. It'll be fun. Well,
that's right.
If you've got nothing else current music to talk about, let's talk about music that was composed in 1983, and let's jump into David Cronenberg's Videodrome. All right, so I have a lot to talk about with the composer. All the music was composed by Howard Shore. He's a living legend, and before we get into all of that, of him being a legend and the unintentional connection between last week's episode and this one, I need to know, I gave you warning, but I need to know your thoughts on Videodrome first.
Yeah. So first, WTF.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a movie that's in my bag of tricks or anything that I would watch. And sorry, Rob, I probably would never watch that movie again.
Told you.
Just it's so far out there. It's one of those, movies that just, for me, I'm going at the end of the movie, I'm going, the hell just happened? Like no plot, no, like, to me, there's no plot. There's no, reason for what's going on and what you're seeing. And then as I'm sitting there and it's all over with, and I'm still going, okay, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? What did I watch? Why did I watch it? And then I'm going, okay, I can see why that can be considered, a cult, classic, and why Rob might like it, the way that he does. It can pull certain people in, people that are into those type of movies, into the horror genre and all of that. But yeah, if I was in the theater, I would have left the theater going, what the like, and did the same thing on my couch. So
yeah, like I had pre-warned you. this was my first introduction to body horror. So when people say they don't know what body horror is, I always go, oh, you should watch Videodrome, because in reality, I think that this is a much softer introduction versus other body horror movies. And Cronenberg almost completely solely only does body horror. But yeah, my first watching, I had the same thought, except the fact that I was super intrigued. I was just like, what the fuck just happened? What is this all about? And, but because of all the cool practical, I was like, I need to watch this again. And I did, and fell in love with it. And I still had no fucking clue. I was like, I don't know anything that's happening currently. It wasn't until years later where I had watched it, I don't know, freaking umpteenth times. I had lost count. I've completely lost count. I love this movie. I own the Criterion collection of this one. I think I have 2 copies, actually. That's how much I love this movie. But it wasn't until years later I had like sat down and been like, I had kind of pieced together what I thought the movie was trying to say, because there is a message to it. And I was pretty much spot on. It was just the era where home movies were becoming a thing, and TV shows were starting to, like, quote unquote cross the line. And Cronenberg was like, here, hold my beer. Let me show you how bad it could be. The scene that always gets me, and it's a weird one, but it always makes my stomach drop, and it has nothing to do with the body horror. It is the scene where he goes to the homeless shelter, and the shelter is just these cubicles that have TVs in them, and they're just all of these unhoused people watching TV, and there's the one dude who's just watching open heart surgery. Like, I was just like, yeah, it's not even the open heart surgery, it's the fact that the daughter of the person who is, or has in a sense orchestrated this entire scenario, it's just like, yeah, no, we're molding their minds, like they're the future. And that's the sign right there. Like, that's the moment she says that, it's like, on a second watch, you go, whoa. She knows what's happening already. You as the viewer have no fucking clue what's going on, but
no idea.
Yeah. So basically it's just the Videodrome is a parasite that is transmitted via the radio waves through the television, and they change your human form. And it is, you either become Videodrome or you become the new flesh. And long live the new flesh. I love that so much. I love that ending every time. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. And the movie has one of my very first musical crushes. Debbie Harry, the lead singer of Blondie, is in this movie. And
Okay.
yeah, she is the love interest. That is Debbie Harry. That is the lead singer of Blondie. Oh man, when I saw this movie for the first time, I
Not
was
even
just like,
put two and two together.
oh yeah. I think this was either her first or second acting role. She had done a few more acting roles afterwards, but like she's, for the screen time she has, she does a pretty good job, I think. But yeah. So your thoughts were exactly what I was expecting them to be. I was like, if he says he loves this, I cannot wait to be like, oh my God, I have a grocery list of fucking movies for you to watch. You're like, no. Hard pass. Thanks, but no thanks. So
I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, let's jump into the amazing Howard Shore. Howard Shore is a 3-time Academy Award winner for movies we actually spoke about last week or the week prior. We were talking about The Lord of the Rings. Yes, this is the same Howard Shore. He did all the scores for the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit movies, which is wild that it's really interesting because Videodrome was his third or fourth movie that he had composed for. And the sound that he makes for this movie alone, the real deep strings that slowly build up, carry through to everything he's done. Like there's slight differences in each movie that he's done, but it's still like when you hear his scores, you're like, whoa, hold on. This is Howard Shore, isn't it? You're like, fuck yeah. Yeah. It's just, oh man. So seeing as we were talking about Lord of the Rings, let's just go in on the Lord of the Rings of it. Now I've seen all three of the trilogy, the original trilogy. I saw, I think the first one 3 times and the second and the third one twice. But I do remember the soundtrack. It's really fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Lord of the Rings, you watch YouTube videos now, Instagram reels, and people are still going to theaters and, music halls and different venues to see just that. Like they put the movie up on the screen and they have the live orchestra playing it in front of them, and it's just those movies will forever stand the test of time. Okay. Because of not only how cinematic they are, but the score behind them. It's incredible what he did and how he transformed those. Because again, with the movies that we've touched base on, if you change any little nuance to them, the movies aren't as good.
Right.
So you've got, we touched on Halloween. I think, we talked about that. If that score changes even just a little bit, it's a different song in there, or maybe they don't use the full, 1970s, theme music and amp it up to 11, and they just kind of leave it the same as it was, it wouldn't have worked as well. So same thing here. As much as I maybe didn't like the movie, it won't be in my top 10. I think the score does it. It still gets you. It hits your mood.
Yeah.
It's getting you. It's cold. It's minimal at sometimes, but it's getting you into that mood of going, what is happening?
Cold is the perfect. Oh man, I wish I had thought of that term. That is spot on. It's the movie is so barren. There's so much packed into these areas. Like the office for Civic TV is just stacked with shelving units and drawers and everything, but at the same time it just feels like a prison cell. Like everything feels like a prison cell. It's wild. And the music definitely reflects that. So a little deep dive into Howard Shore's partnership with David Cronenberg. Ready for this? He has composed the soundtracks for, these are all David Cronenberg movies: The Brood, Dead Zone, The Fly, Dead Ringer, Naked Lunch, M. Butterfly, Crimes of the Future, which is the most recent one. Oh, and Scanners. Can't forget Scanners. All David Cronenberg movies that Howard Shore has composed music for. Like, their partnership runs deep. And Crimes of the Future just came out 3 years ago, I believe. So they're still working together on soundtracks. I couldn't stop because I know the name so well, but he's done so many scores that I was going down the list. I was like, fuck me, dude. Like, he's a beast. And there's two movies that I know he's the guy who's done the scores for, aside from all of the Cronenberg movies, that don't sound like everything else he does, and it works so well. But he did the scores for Mrs. Doubtfire, which, when you listen to Mrs. Doubtfire, it's this jovial, upbeat music the whole time and doesn't necessarily sound like what he normally does. And he composed the music for Kevin Smith's Dogma. I fucking love that movie, and it is the greatest music. It's just this like hauntingly holy music, but it's also like upbeat and comical throughout. It's the wildest fucking score, but it's so goddamn good.
Wow.
But yeah, so Howard Shore is a legend. I mean, I wrote down way more movies. I'm not even going to touch on. It's just too damn many movies. Honestly.
Well, no, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, just how many films that he's done, and with just the sheer collection, like, he'll go down in my mind as one of the, maybe top 5 composers for movies, just because of one, Lord of the Rings. He scored on, the Departed, same things with Gangs in New York, like 2 great movies, in my mind.
Yeah.
And then, The Aviator as well.
That's right.
It's just, it's so good. I mean, I wish, for being a musician, I was half as talented as these guys. Just because to be able to sit there and look at a film or however they do it, and you're thinking in your head, okay, well, I could add this and write it down. And then I could do that. And they come up with these pages and hand them out to people that can play the instrument. Or even if he runs the synth himself, or, whatever. Like, it's unbelievable just how good composers can be.
Yeah, that's there was a documentary I'd watched years and years and years ago that followed a few composers and the way that their process to make music for movies. And they're all no two composers are exactly the same. They all have their own process. I feel like with Howard alone, I know that he sits down, he will watch the movies and he'll rewatch them and watch them. And he gets notes from the director. Yeah. He gets notes from the writers. He wants to know, like, what were you feeling? Yeah. So he pulls these real emotions and then adds that into what he's doing. So you touched on a few more. I have to say these two. So he also did the scores for Silence of the Lambs and Seven. And the soundtrack for fucking Seven, holy shit. That is an uncomfortable movie, and the music makes it 10 times more uncomfortable. He just knocked it out of the park. But Yeah.
Yeah.
What I really dig about what he did with Videodrome was almost exactly like what the Blair brothers did with the Green Room. There were small scores. They were short little moments of music until we get closer to the climax of the film at the end, where that music is almost carrying through the entire time. And you, at least on my part, I've watched this movie hundreds of times. You forget what's happening. Like, you forget to listen because you're so focused on, like, wait, where is he going? What is he doing? Who is he going to actually kill? He's got two paths to follow. And the music is guiding you the entire time you're watching it. It's just unbelievable. And he uses some fucking synthesizer. We got more synth.
Well, and it parallels not the journey, but it parallels Max's descent, into that madness, that hallucination, and it bodies that transformation, of what he's doing, and he starts here, but that music it goes in lockstep with him throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. It's so good to man, I'm at a loss for words right now. That's what'll happen 3 hours of sleep.
Well, so real quick, while you gain your thoughts, Howard, himself, I was yes, I looked him up on IMDb and to see what other things he did. What I did not recognize is that he was part of that movie, That Thing You Do, with Tom Hanks, and The Wonders. Like, had no idea, but it makes so much sense. That movie's so good. Why wouldn't you have somebody like that do the score of the film? Like, it just makes me like it even more.
The crazy little underline of that too is that David Cronenberg was a producer for that movie.
For
That Thing You Do. Yeah. The partnership and the respect that the two of them have for each other is unbelievable that they do that. So David, wrong person. I'm in love with David Cronenberg. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Howard Shore. I did a little bit more research looking in, because every composer starts somewhere. There's a moment, there's something that makes them go, I can do more, and then they follow. And what I found was that in the late 60s, early 70s, Howard was part of a jazz fusion band called Lighthouse that I now need to try and find if there's that music out there. And that was kind of his thing, because he was composing most of the music for that. People were like, this is amazing. And he was like, I can do more. And he did. He just went after it, so much so that his first huge project, people hear every fucking Saturday night when they turn on their TV. He did the theme song for Saturday Night Live. And it's been updated, but it's still the same song. He did that. He did the music for the show as well. Like, any music moments throughout the show that weren't the musical guest, that was Howard Shore. This month has lit a fire under my ass to look deeper. And I have been finding some cool information. I'm like, dude, why did I not know this? This is amazing. And I'm just a whore for information. I love learning new things. So yeah, Howard is a legend. Honestly, oh man, when he's gone, it's going to hurt, like really going to hurt. Yeah. And the film industry is going to be missing a legend, somebody who is unbelievably talented and apparently just runs on sheer music power, because he just keeps pumping them out. There's no stopping him.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like any of his scores sound alike. Like, there's not two movies that you can put side by side and be like, look, they sound exactly the same. He really finds a way to make the music his own, but also really make sure that it is the movie. Like, it's in unison with what we're watching, and not just like, hey, here's another score by Howard Shore, like Danny Elfman does. You hear any movie with Danny Elfman, you're like, oh, this is fucking Danny Elfman oohing and on again with fucking haunting music again. Oingo Boingo, great. Like,
right.
I have a love-hate relationship with him. But yeah, I like Oingo Boingo. I don't really enjoy his theme songs, although he did do the Batman theme song, so fuck me, right? Anywho, we're not talking about Danny Elfman. I have strong feelings. But I guess the real meat and potatoes of this one is that this is such an earlier film, and I have to repeat you, it's cold. It's really good. It's cold, man. Cold. You're a fucking genius. This is why we have you. This is why I have you on, man. The musician knows the words. Thanks. Goes, I have a feeling, and it's cold. And I'm over here like, I love this movie. Oh man. But was there a singular moment of music in the movie that hit you in a way that you had a feeling of some sort? You were just like, oh shit.
I mean, I was feeling some sort of way throughout the whole film. If I'm being honest.
Fair.
But I was just, because we're on this, if I was watching the movie for the movie, like, I don't even think I'd be paying attention to the score, just because I'm sitting there just.
You can't see Mike's face, but he's just the fuck. The face is just like, but why? But why?
And so I'm going, where we're on this journey and we're trying to, just describe the scores and sit and actually listen to them. It's just, I think the whole movie does that to me. There's not one point. It's just, again, going back to how cold it made the movie feel. Maybe, how claustrophobic it feels in certain scenes, and it just kind of makes you draw in. The fusion almost of man and machine, and how that synthesizer comes in on most, on some of the parts. And I hate to use the word, but that it's moody sometimes. And then it's the electronic infused orchestra. And then I don't know. It's just, I keep wanting to say atmospheric, but I don't think it's that. But it's just, I mean, that whole,
my exact words for it were haunting / hauntingly sexy, because it really is. There are moments where it's just, because this is a body horror film, there's this follow through with all of Cronenberg's films where the music starts to, the best way I can describe the feeling for me, like especially on his last movie, Crimes of the Future, the music feels like organs, in a sense of like, not like a pipe organ, but like it's mirroring a heartbeat.
Like your internal.
It's mirroring digestion. It's mirroring blood flow, like all of that. And this has this like underlining thing of like, it feels like flesh mixed with mechanical parts, and hearing the low cello strings playing very slowly and deeply, and then right underneath it there's a fucking synthesizer just slowly wobbling its way through. It's like, okay, so here's this raw material that is a cello, and here's this electronic bit just slowly pushing its way through. It's this.
Right.
Howard's a fucking genius, man. He was a genius in 83, and he's still a genius today. And I mean, 3 Academy Awards just proves that to the world. Like, he's
100%.
amazing. I really there. So I asked you that because there's one moment of music in this movie that I cannot understand why, but it makes me uncomfortable, and it's not something that he composed as far as I could find. It's towards the end of the movie.
Okay.
Max goes to the expo, which has got the weirdest moment ever. He just walks in and there's like some like minstrel show happening on stage, and it's the music that's playing during that sequence that I'm like, I don't know why, but every time I'm like, I really don't like this. I don't like this music. I just don't like the music.
Yeah.
I love the scene that follows, but I'm a twisted bastard, and watching somebody just fall apart is just wild to me. Every time I'm just like, yo, why? It's still, and I love this movie, I still don't understand that exact moment. Makes no sense to me, but I love it. So yeah, that's the only moment of music that I'm just like, can I leave? I don't like this music, and I don't know why, but I don't.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
I think at this point, I've scarred you so deeply that you're just, yeah. All right. I promise you, the next 2 movies they're not body horror, so you should be fine. They are old. They're from the 70s. It's 70s horror, which is exploitation without being over the top exploitation. So like most exploitation films, we're talking about like Last House on the Left and The Hills Have Eyes. Those were movies that were made to shock people to a point where they were like, why was this made? What is the point? Why would you film rape? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. When you go into the Italian and the French side of exploitation film, it's a lot more cerebral. It's a lot more there. I mean, there's a lot of blood, but the upside is when you go over there, the blood looks like melted red crayons. So you're able to like disconnect for a minute, because you're like, people don't bleed, you know,
don't blood like that.
Yeah. I don't blood like that.
Nobody makes me believe my own blood.
So yeah, I think these next 2, these final 2, that will be 1 episode, is going to, there may be the niche that of horror for you where you're like, oh, okay, I'm OG. Like I want 50s through the 70s, full stop. I will say it, and I will argue it till I'm blue in the face. People who say they don't like horror just haven't found their horror yet. Like, I have met other people who are like, I don't like comedies, which is a lie. Everybody likes comedies. The point is, you just haven't found your comedy yet. Everyone has a specific type, and dark comedy exists. Most people who say they don't like comedy just haven't watched a dark comedy. I'm like, here, be uncomfortable.
Probably.
So I hope you like these. I'm going to be honest. I really hope you like these movies. These are the 2 that I'm like, you're going to like one of them at least. I have a feeling. Videodrome, I was like, there's maybe a 1% chance he's going to be like, wow, this was amazing. Give me more. I was 99% sure we're going to come on. You're going to be like, I shut it off 20 minutes in. And I was like, oh, okay. I looked up the soundtrack. Shut off
20 minutes. I've made it through the whole thing.
Well, that's an achievement. Made it through
the whole thing, sat there. I owed it to you. So
you got to pat yourself on the back for that one. I had another one. I was gonna say score wise, again, still Howard. I really just wanted to talk Howard Shore, but he did The Fly, and I was just like, oh, I should show you The Fly because Jeff Goldblum rocks, and that's a gooey movie.
Right.
Also, a body horror. Also Cronenberg.
Yep. I sense a theme.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you do, all right, let's do the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I believe there's a 10th that I missed. When you do that many movies, you make that many scores for one director. And I've seen all of them.
Right.
Cronenberg's the shit, man. I don't know what to tell you. There's the David duos that get me is David Cronenberg and David Lynch. Rest in peace. I love Lynch and Cronenberg, and there was a part of me, and still, I mean, that part exists, but it will never happen, that the two of them would have gotten together to make a movie, because the creative mind of like, how hard can I confuse the audience of Lynch versus how far can I go to make the audience uncomfortable. The two of them writing a script together and directing together would have broken people. Like there would have been tears and people like rolling around on the floor. They're like, I don't fucking, people ripping their hair out. I don't know what's going on. What's happening? Why am I seeing this? Make it stop. And I'm like, I would have been in the back row just like, give me more.
Right.
But all right, well, I mean, this is a bit of a shorter one, but I also think it's a shorter movie. The score's a bit shorter itself. The upside is knowing that you are a Lord of the Rings fan. This was a happy accident. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I still haven't watched Rings of Power, but it is saved on my list.
That's all right.
I saved it. I am a man of my word.
I think I told you last week. It's a slow burn. That first season, it's going to take a bit, but second season kicks in and you're off to the races. So it'll fill in all the gaps and you're good to go. But
I will give it
get there.
I'll give it my 3 episode watch. If the dialogue and the acting is intriguing enough and keeps my attention, I'll keep going. Like I had stated in the earlier episode, I've heard nothing but good things, including from people who agree with me. They're like, yeah, Lord of the Rings are all right, but Rings of Power, that's something you got to watch. So I guess it's something I should give a shot. So I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. Well,
at the end of every episode, we've got to give this a rating from 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, long live the new fleshes, what would you give Videodrome?
So it's not the worst movie I've seen. Okay, so it's not going to get a 1. Okay, but it will get a 2, solid 2 stars. Just in terms of the movie itself, was not a fan. But the score, I think, if I had to rate movie, it'd be 2. Score would be like a 7.
Okay.
So
yeah. No, that's perfect. The movie's a 10 for me. That's should go without question. I fucking adore this movie. The score. Now I'm going to go off of. I'm going to do something I probably shouldn't do, but I'm going to go off of where Shore is today. And I'm going to agree with you, but I'm going to go up just a touch. I'm going to give it a 7.5, 7.5, just because it's very minimal, but it serves its purpose. Correct. If it were to be rescored, I think Howard would approach this very differently. And I'd be interested.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I'd be so interested to see what he would do with the movie now. It's actually a really good idea. Why don't people rescore movies? Like years after they come out, man, that's a $1 million idea. I got to pitch that to somebody. Yeah. Trademark spoiler sleepover. Nobody fucking take it.
Just edit it.
Yeah. Right. Oh man. Well, yeah, this was great. I will say, I'm sorry. I'm glad you watched it. I'm glad you got to experience body horror for the first time. I'm sorry I may have potentially scarred you.
It's all right.
But I'm always excited when I can convince somebody to watch any body horror, especially Cronenberg. If I can get somebody who's never seen it to watch, I'm like, yes. Well, thank you so much for coming for week 3 of your month. This is great. I'm going to say it again. I think I've said it in the past 2 episodes. I'm just excited to have you come back when Jason Michael's here for us to talk about Sinners and other things, music, movie related. I think it'll be awesome. And I think with this Lord of the Rings thing, there might be some Patreon content there for this. We'll find out. Yeah. All right. Well, until next week. Sleep tight, suckers.
Sleep tight, suckers.
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Gore Clown Shop.
Do you love all things horror? Books? Movies? Podcasts? Of course you do. Well, come on down to goreclown.com.
Original artwork by an indie horror fan for indie horror fans.
Use code SLEEPOVER at checkout to save 15% on your whole purchase.
Oh, and did we mention? Gore Clown is the only place to get official Spoiler Sleepover merch.
So don't forget to use Sleepover to save 15%.
Stay indie, suckers.